Welcome guys to the first Copa City gameplay presentation. Today I'm gonna show you the main mechanics, the ideas of the game. You're gonna see a new map of Berlin. So let's go straight into it. Let's move over to the menu, new game, single match, Olympiastadion, which is the stadium in Berlin. Now we can pick the teams, Arsenal and Bayern Munich, for example. Yes, and let's start. While the game is loading, remember to follow us on social media. There you will get the latest updates of the game development. And also, if you want to support us and if you will like what you see today, what we present to you today, then add us to your wish lists. Okay, so the game has loaded. Let's play. And straight away we get a welcoming screen, which is an event screen. Copa City requirements. The lore of the game is that Copa City is an organization, a sports event organization. So you have a board that has certain expectations of you because you need to meet the standards of the event. For instance, getting a certain number of fans into the city, or building certain elements of infrastructure, building certain fan zones. Let's click OK and move on. So straight away you see now you have quests, right? So you have certain objectives that you will need to meet throughout the game. But let's focus on the map first. Like, this is the first time you actually see the gameplay. So you can see the vibe is realistic, right? We're actually trying to recreate a lot of real landmarks of each city that you will be able to play in. So both the stylistic choices, the architectural choices, but also real buildings will add to that fiction, to that fantasy of organizing a real sports event. Because the game should reflect real stakes, right? Real people are coming to see this game. They are using money. The event costs money. So we want to create that feeling. Also in sound, like the sound design will also reflect a certain reality. You'll see it when we get some fans into the city that they're actually singing real football chants, which is quite cool. So the city, as each city is divided into districts. Those are real districts. We squeeze the Berlin map a little bit to fit in all the most famous districts, like Kreuzberg, like Mitte, but also Westen, Tiergarten, right? So all the big names. And on the minimap, you can see that we're moving through the different districts. This is a very important system of the game, because when we will get fans coming into the city, you will have to take care of their different needs. And you can see now that we're in Charlottenburg. Next to the name, or under the name, you see 4 statistics, right? You see 0 fans, but under it you see the first statistic, which is a food symbol, right? A catering symbol. And it means that Charlottenburg right now has a capacity to feed 150 fans. So then you have the next need, which is accommodation. Charlottenburg can accommodate 200 fans in hotels, for example. Then you also have fun, entertainment, because that is the focus of the fans incoming into the city. They want to have fun. And obviously, it's a mass event, so safety is essential. Those are the 4 main crucial needs that you will have to be taking care of throughout the whole gameplay. And this is what the game revolves around. So taking care of fans' needs across the whole city. Now, you can deal with this in a couple of different ways, but let's first get some fans into the city so you can actually experience this firsthand. We move over to the world map. This is obviously alpha version. Now you can see a system going on here. You can see a division into different regions of the world. We have North America, Africa, South America, but you also got certain cities. And when clicking on each of those regions, you can see that there is a number coming up and a percentage with the club crests. This means that each club has a big fan base around the world, right? And each region has again a pool of fans that you can invite those fans to your host city where the game is taking place. Now, how do you reach out to those fans? You need to promote the game, right? So you need to promote the event in those different regions. Right now, let's pick London, right? So we're going to get 100% Arsenal fans coming from London to Berlin, where we organize the match. We activate the marketing campaign. So we can see there that 2,500 fans will arrive within 1 day. And you can see it on the calendar that you open on the left side of the screen, because now you can actually control when they arrive and when you have to get ready for the inflow of those fans in the city. So we see a total of 2,500 fans will arrive in 4 different chunks, so with 4 different flights at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. The first flight come with 425 fans. So we're gonna take care of that first. Let's move out again to the city map. So right now, the time is 4 o'clock, so in 4 hours in the game time, fans will arrive. So we need to prepare Charlottenburg. So we have Charlottenburg, which can feed 150 fans, but we know we are already getting 425 fans in a couple of hours in the city. So straight away, we know we need to upgrade Charlottenburg, right? We need to make the capacity bigger of that district to accommodate those different needs. Now we can see the first fans have arrived. You can see Arsenal fans. They are actually singing different Arsenal chants. That is what we're striving for. We're going to record all different real fans walking around in the city, maybe also having sing-offs. Let's see. And you can see that food or catering is their main need, right? You can see it in that icon. Obviously, they have 4 different needs that need to be taken care of, but that is the vital one right now. That is the most urgent one. So let's deal with that first. The first way we can deal with it is rent different buildings that will provide those services. So restaurants. Here you click on a restaurant on the city map, and you can see it adds plus 100 to the capacity of Charlottenburg. But that's not enough. Let's find another restaurant. Okay, another 100. Okay, 350, we're almost there, but still not enough. So we need to figure out another way, because there's only so many restaurants in Charlottenburg. The second way, so now we can also add obviously a hotel. This will provide accommodation. And now you see that the accommodation need has turned green, because now 950 fans can sleep in Charlottenburg, while we only have 425 fans in the city, right? In that district. The second way we can deal with this problem, so catering is still something that we need, is we can build our own infrastructure. Meaning we can create our own fan zones in which we build modules that will provide those different needs. So let's build a couple of food trucks that will take care of the food need. As you can see in this module, each food truck will add plus 50 to the capacity. However, it will also cost raw food. So that's the first resource that we'll need to get. However, also it adds money, right? Because we're selling food to the different fans in those food trucks. So we're actually making money now on our event, which is great. But we need to provide daily food, raw food materials to those food trucks. So this is the first resource that we'll take care of. We need to find a food market on the map. You can see small icons on the minimap, and each of those buildings is a special, have a special look, and the look is the same at each map, so it should be easy to recognize those different places where you can get the resources. And when you enter them, you get a menu on which you can create a delivery system. The delivery system is daily. It takes time to get those resources. So you choose how much resources you should get, how much raw food materials you should get each day. You pick that costs a certain amount of money, and you confirm, right? So now we know that the raw material is created for us to stock up, and you can see it on the upper side of the map. If you have an instant problem, if you have a crisis, you can get instant delivery, but it will cost you double, right? So there is an option, but it's always an additional cost. Now we have 2 other resources that works the same way that you need in order to evolve your infrastructure. The first is construction materials, so building materials that you get in a construction market. Works exactly the same way, right? So right now we will get 2,500 construction materials daily, and it costs us a certain amount of money. Next, the third material is marketing material, so branding, right? You always see in fan zones big branded elements, right? So we need those marketing materials for our fan zones to be created, and you get them in the media houses. So now we're gaining free of those vital resources in order to build infrastructure that will then take care of the different fans' needs, right? So we have those two. Now we have a certain loop that is working. But as you can see, we're losing money. We have still 28,000, almost 29,000 of money, but we have daily cost of 7,000, right? So we will run out of money very quickly, while the game starts in 13 days, okay? So we need to start making more money. The food trucks only give us so much, but we already have more costs than we have some revenue. So the main source of money is sold tickets. We're not selling tickets yet. We are getting fans into this host city where you take care of them in the districts and you build fan zones for them to enjoy their time in the city. But you actually have to activate the ticket sales. So you do it at the stadium. Okay, this is the football heart of the city. This is a very important building that you will have to prepare for the game. And this is also where you make a lot of vital choices. So we build a ticket sales center on the outskirts of the stadium. So you have construction grids that work exactly the same way as those in the city. And you build a ticket sales center that now has activated a ticket sale. And you can see now we have sold 68 tickets for a price of $34. So we are gaining money now. And now we can see three different stats here. Tickets revenue, how much we're actually gaining money, right? But you have seats available and estimated ticket sales. So we have an estimation based on the hype level of the event. So based on how popular the event is, that is how much tickets we will probably sell, right? The problem is that we have only 20,000 seats available. And obviously, Olympiastadion can take in over 70,000 people, but you have to prepare the stadium for that amount of fans. So in order for the game to be safe and for them to have enough food and so on. So let's take of that second part first. Let's create a drink sales stand, some food catering modules that will add those seats, right? Meaning it adds to how many fans we can actually invite into the stadium. So we build some catering personnel, we build some stands, we can build some tables, we can build different modules that prepare the stadium. And that preparation is the second stat that you see in the module. You see plus 1,000 seats that we add to the total seats available. And you add a +1 to the preparation of the stadium. Let's get out of the stadium right now, and I can show you what I mean. 3%. This is where we add the preparation percentage with those modules. Okay, so 3 days before the game, you will have a big inspection. This is what happens in reality. So before any big game like a Champions League final or any other big sports event, you get an inspection that will check if you are actually able to play the game, right? To organize the match in the stadium in a safe manner, right? So, and that is exactly what you will also have. You will have an inspection that checks if the stadium is prepared, and you have to be prepared 100%. In the meantime, let's move back to the city. So we still have a big problem in Charlottenburg. Now, we are getting some money, so we can expand our buildings, right? So we can expand our infrastructure, but we still need more resources to actually accommodate for everyone. The third way we can deal with it is to balance this problem out throughout the city. Let's transport some fans from one district to another. So let's move over to our tactical map. And what we can do here is you see the 2,500 fans in Charlottenburg. Let's move them to West End. And now you can see that this will make it easier for each district to take care of those fans that live in there. And in the meantime of doing well, we actually reach our first Fiesta level. Fiesta levels is the experience points, basically, right? So you gain experience points when you take care of different fans' needs in districts. And when you reach a certain amount, you get a Fiesta level. The Fiesta levels does at least two things. The first is it unlocks different regions on the world map. So now you will get, you might get fans. You can activate a marketing campaign in a different region of the world and then get those fans into your city. Or you can unlock different new skills or different new technologies or different new modules on our tech tree. So we're taking care of those needs in Westend now, right? So we can see you have on the minimap 4 different red alerts. And then suddenly one switched off because we took care of all the needs in Westend, right? All of them are green. You can see pluses, so we were getting Fiesta points. We're doing well, right? And you can see now that those fans in Westend have a green icon. So this is the need that they're most happy about, right? And that will also boost like what we're doing well. But in the 3 other district, we still need to upgrade things. Let's go to the HQ. Let's go to our headquarter building. This is your headquarters, so your center, right? Where you can do different things. I told you that with upgrading Fiesta levels, we can actually go to the technology tree and we can unlock different skills, right? So here you can see we have a couple of modules. You can unlock a volunteer center modules, which will get us volunteers, right? And now you can, so that takes us to another element of the game. Here we need to unlock a football table module. We need another type of workers. As you can see at the top of the screen, we have 3 different categories of workers, right? So we have the volunteers. So we need to create a module that will recruit them. Then we have workers. Those are the builders in our game. So you recruit workers in HR centers, basically, right? So you go to an HR agency, and now we can hire builders. Another Fiesta level, right? So we choose our reward. We get money, we get hype, we get food. We can choose our own reward, and we move on. So now we have workers. So this allows us to build the volunteer center, which again, the recruitment will take daily costs of money and marketing materials. It's crucial to connect each module with pavement. This activates the buildings. And we can start the recruitment of volunteers. They are for free, right? They are volunteers, so they're working for free, but it takes time to recruit them. However, another type of worker that we need is specialists. Specialists, they are needed for different jobs like safety. Okay, so safety is essential when doing mass events. So when building certain modules, you will need safety specialists, right? Or we're going to move soon back to the stadium, and I'm going to show you how we can take care of the pitch, right? That's where the game will be played. So it's, again, an essential element that you have to prepare for the game, but you need specialists who know how to deal with things like this, right? So we've got to get more specialists, and then you can build more modules, which expands your infrastructure, which then takes care of more and more of those fans' needs. So you can see now how everything starts looping together. While we need to take care of costs, we need to make money, right, of the event. Usually that the business side is the most important for a lot of people. In our game, fans are the focus, so we're taking care of the fans, and that is the most important element. But you will for sure get quests in order to make a certain number of money. For instance, you're organizing a charity game, right? When you're organizing a charity game, the money that you gather is the idea of the charity match itself, right? So it might be essential for that type of scenario. Now, we're adding different cool modules, right? So we don't only have safety modules or business modules for hiring people. we actually create fan zones, right? Where people can eat, where people can have fun, where people can watch the game. We also can build branded modules. So those will increase the happiness of fans. You can see we have a bar at the top of our screen where you have Arsenal on the left and FC Bayern on the right. Right now, that bar is definitely out of balance, right? It's the majority is of Arsenal fans in the city, or we only have Arsenal fans right now in the city, so they are definitely happy, while FC Bayern is unhappy. The bar is not 100% yet because we still have 12 days to go, so we can fix this problem, right? And we should move towards the balance because we as organizers should be neutral, right? At least that's the idea. But we have a Fiesta level 2, or now actually Fiesta level 3, so we should have unlocked Munich now. So let's get some Bayern Munich fans in. Okay, and this will start to balance this happiness of fans. Oh, but here you see, you have a cost. Like we need 3,000 marketing materials. So this is an instant problem, right? Let's say we have a crisis, we need that straight away. We can start that delivery, right, and expand the delivery, or we can buy quickly this amount of marketing. But you can see it costs us a lot of money, right? So this is something that you will have to manage throughout the game. Like this is. You can say we are a survival tycoon, where you as an event manager, you have to survive this and create the best event ever, but also you cannot run out of money. You should be making money, right? So now we have started a campaign in Munich. Now we can see 3,000 fans. We arrive in 2 days, right? Or over 2 days. So 1,500 on Sunday, and then on Monday, another 1,500 fans will arrive. And this will start changing that balance of happiness, right? It will start equaling out and getting to that center. Let's move back into the stadium, okay? So we've shown you how it looks from the outside, but let's move inside. This is even more important. Here you can see in the stands, we already get a certain representation of how many tickets we have sold, right? So you can see that 2,000 fans feel kind of empty in the stadium, right? This should motivate you to get more. You want the game to be filled with fans, right? Because then you will hear the songs, the different chants between the different clubs. You will also get tifo. You will see how colorful it gets. The more you evolve, the more tickets you sell, the more fans you get into the city. But let's get back to preparing the stadium. It works exactly the same as any other construction grids. You're building modules. But now you have different categories of those modules, right? So you need team benches and elements like this in order to prepare the infrastructure of the stadium itself. You need elements that will add seats. You need elements that will add the catering on the stadium. But we also have to take care of the pitch itself. So let's build a turf care center, okay? This will unlock a new menu, which then allows us to take care of the pitch. So here you can see right now the overall condition of the grass is 25%, which is bad, okay? That inspection I mentioned before, it will demand from you to have at least 80% of an overall condition for the game to be played, right? It is a game between two clubs. They're not messing around. It needs to be a pristine event that you're creating. So you have 3 different statistics that you're taking care of. Irrigation levels, light exposure levels, and grass height, okay? So each of them have a bar, and you can see that there is a red part, which means that, okay, either the grass is underexposed, right? So it's not growing, or it's under irrigated. It's not, you haven't watered it, so again, it doesn't grow. Or you can go overboard, right? You can water it too much, and then you flood the grass and you destroy the grass itself. Also, in all different football fixtures, you have a certain grass height that the players will accept, right? That where the football is best played at. So this is also the grass cutting part of it. Okay, so we have taken care of the pitch. we are expanding the infrastructure around the stadium, but also we need to go deeper. Let's go into the locker rooms. Right now you can see a very simple block out of this. This will be a replica again of Olympiastadion, and this is how we deal with each stadium that we'll have in the game. And here also you need to build modules, right? So you will be preparing the stadium with different modules that, for instance, are requested from clubs, right? So we're taking care of fans' needs, but you also need to take care of different requirements for the clubs, right? Imagine that Bayern Munich have an injury crisis, right? So now they will not risk their players' health. So they demand that you build a physiotherapy and regeneration zone, right? That will help them regenerate after the game or during the game, right? So you will have different real quests like this. And we're trying to kind of emulate real life events, real life quests, real life problems of event managers like the one that you're playing in Copa City. Okay, so I've shown you how to take care of the stadium now. So let's move out again to the city. So we have still a problem in Charlottenburg, in two other districts, in West End, right? And you can see our construction grid in Charlottenburg is starting to get full, right? So in those different districts, you also have construction grids, but most of them are actually locked, okay? So you need to expand that network of construction grids. So you need to basically unlock different places to build. You do it by building a transmission tower right now, okay? So by building it, you expand to the nearest construction grids. So now you can build even more, right? You don't only rent buildings now in the different districts, but you also can expand building another fan zone. And this is how you'll need to move from construction grid to construction grid in order to evolve this network of fan zones throughout the whole city. Okay, so I think you should be getting now the general idea of the game, right? You're taking care of fans. You need to get in as many fans into the city as possible. You work in a district-based system, so each district has a certain capacity to take care of the different fans. You need to gather different resources that you use in order to build and expand your network, your infrastructure. You need to take care of the stadium and sell tickets, right? But we have 11 days to do this, right? So you will be expanding and expanding for those 11 days in order to prepare the best possible event. Let's move over to the match day now, okay? So because the match day is special, the match day is different. You have been preparing and expanding your infrastructure throughout the whole game. And finally, the day is up, right? The day where Arsenal and Bayern Munich will clash at the Olympiastadion. But the fans have a tradition. And you could see this in the latest Euros. You can see it in a lot of big games where they start from a certain point in the city and they march towards the stadium itself. Now, this obviously is a safety issue, and you as the event manager, as the city captain, as we call it in Copa City, you will have to take care of this issue too. So your main focus is to direct those different marches of the different clubs, right, of the different fans from the different clubs towards the stadium in a way where they never meet, okay? How do you do this? You need to use different police points and barriers, basically blocking different streets in a way that will direct those marches in a way where they never actually cross, okay? So this is kind of cool because you will see long marches of thousands of fans walking towards the stadium, singing actual chants, actual songs. You will see flags and different club branding throughout the whole city. And you need to deal with it. It's kind of like a snake in reality. Okay, so you need to play around with this labyrinth to get them to the stadium safely. And when they arrive at the stadium, that is your end game. Okay, that is where you have actually managed to prepare the stadium. If it's gonna be 100%, right? You have prepared the stadium for the arrival of fans. The amount that you sold tickets to will arrive at the stadium. You've done a great job of preparing the best game that you were able to do, and you'll get a final score, right? So then you can compare yourself with other players, how well you did in those certain circumstances. If you didn't manage to prepare the game, if you didn't manage to prepare the stadium, you have a cancellation risk, okay? So if you won't be able to achieve all those requirements from the inspection, the game can be cancelled because it will not be allowed to be played because of safety issues, right? So there is a risk of game over. And that is the overall risk that we also want to create, a time risk. That's the time pressure, right? That is one of the main things that all the event managers have told us is like the overshadowing problem, right? The time is constantly moving on, the clock is ticking, so that adds to the pressure of the game. The second part is the fans' happiness, right? You need to take care of their needs. The third element is the clubs have requirements, right? Those are big institutions, big fan bases, big clubs that takes themselves very seriously, and you need to prepare the infrastructure for their arrival and for the game to take place. And also you have the inspection taking care of the safety, and the Copa City board that requires for you to keep a certain standard of their event, right? They want it to be a world brand of football games, right? So you play a lot with a lot of different elements. The last element, but also crucial, is the city itself, right? So citizens in the city might have something to say, right? If you build too many fan zones, for example, in one district, it gets too loud. So now they will get angry and the city demands for you to change things, right? So you can see we're approaching Copa City from a very holistic point of view. We're trying to create a realistic feeling of a real football event, a real mass event that you need to prepare, and you need to create basically the football fever for the fans. Okay, that's Copa City for you. That's the first gameplay presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will add us to your wish list, and see you next time.